There is literally too much to get to. I don't have time for some corny open about somebody being back. Okay, let's get a free poo, move poo update here on Winging It. Happy New Year, everyone. Gucci Mane update. So I just told the fellas I'm going to Miami this weekend for a bachelor party. We're seeing Gucci Mane. One of my buddies goes, is the attire bulletproof vests? It might be. Is he even going to show up? Literally, my flight is Sunday morning, and I'm going to take an Uber out the club at 5:30, and Gucci's going to be walking in. But he's in the headlines for basically he ghosted a funeral. One of his, album guys or one of his label guys got arrested for attempted murder. And I love Gucci. I hope he plays all old school shit. If I see a Gucci Mane album nowadays, I can't even touch it because I know it's going to be 40 songs of absolute crap.
Yes, music sucks. But his wife did post an Instagram story or something on Instagram that people were saying that he said that he paid for like this dude's side to his label's funeral, and then people were saying he actually didn't, and then his wife posted the receipt of it the other day, like proving that he did.
Dylan, I just looked it up, and is it Story Nightclub? Is that
it must be. Yeah.
Well, it says it's Gucci Mane and Meek Mill. So
okay, wow,
that's lit. Dreams and nightmares will be sweet.
Yeah, I'd be really pissed if I'm literally like leaving the club with my suitcase, which I'll probably have to put in coat check or something, and then just a fire song comes on. 6 a.m.
What time's your flight Sunday?
Oh God, like 7 a.m. I'm just gonna stay up all night.
Oh yeah, that's what I did when I went there. It sucked ass though.
Yeah. But I'm hyped, escaping to some warmer weather. Speaking of music, I kind of like caught up over the last 2 months. There was some fire music out. YB Never Broke Again album I have been bumping. He had like 2 of them in the last 2 months. It's an absolute slapper. Roddy Ricch Undefeated, and Metro Boomin's album obviously was fire.
Yeah, I love Metro's album.
Yeah.
Dude, Travis Scott, I think, really made a comeback. I was kind of like tepid on him after, he had the whole riot thing. And then I didn't think he was really putting out great music. He probably intentionally laid low. He killed it on Metro's album, I thought.
His album will be coming out at some point, Utopia. I don't know when, but probably sweet. I love Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Aside from his other shit. Right,
exactly. And he, even in one of these songs, it's like he literally goes 12 p.m. riot. I'm like, oh, you're really just going into it there. Podcasting. You guys have any thoughts on? I was excited to listen to both of these, and I kind of ended up skipping through it. Portnoy on Rogan, Aiden Ross on Nelk.
I listened to both.
Thoughts?
Portnoy's was. They didn't really talk about Barstool too much. I knew he was going to be calm because, like, Joe Rogan probably, he's just not on that, he made, some of his douchey Portnoy comments, but, he has to act somewhat reserved around him and act, respectful. So I wanted them to dive into Barstool more, but I kind of liked the Aiden Ross one a little bit.
I agree. So I thought I don't know how Rogan does it. 3 hours, every day he's putting out shit. That's why he's the king. He's got, my God, time listened is just off the charts. This guy's sitting in front of a microphone every single time, every day. I thought, I listened to the first 30 minutes of Portnoy and Rogan. It was fun. It was just Rogan's so chill. It's just he didn't even have a plan. It's he didn't even know the story of Barstool. Dave kind of forced the story out.
Yeah.
It was kind of awkward.
Yeah, that part was awkward because he'd be like, we've been around for 20 years and that's how we started. And he'd
and Rogan be like, what?
Yeah.
It's dude, do an ounce of research. This dude didn't even care who his guest was.
That's my one complaint whenever I do listen to Joe Rogan often. I feel like he does wing a lot of his stuff, which
right.
I mean, he is king,
but I mean, that kind of frustrates Nelk listeners too, because it's damn, they get such great guests, and you're like, oh, we want you to ask them that, and it's just how many birds you bagged this weekend?
They do ask some funny questions sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Even when they're not because I listened to this podcast with just Kyle yesterday, and they were talking about the Nelk story, and they're asking about how it goes with when these people come on, what they say, and they were we're adamant that he does not ask OJ about the kid, and he was but like, come on, like he just completely like disregarded it. So
that's when you see celebs like walking off interviews for sure. Like
yeah,
when they hit those questions immediately, they're like, I'm out.
yeah,
No kidding. So the Aiden Ross was interesting. It was cool to hear just Aiden Ross not on live, like
yeah,
not on his
be
stream.
normal.
The different side of him, how he's literally trying to like hustle, like he's trying to make 2023 his year.
Yeah,
He's bought his parents a crib. He's got like 4 different properties. Just crazy.
yeah, his life is pretty sweet, no doubt.
And I liked how he was talking about, I mean, it's all the podcast, like it's interesting. Podcasting is one thing and it's streaming is so different. It's like one and the same, but it's different. It's live. It's a more engaged audience. It's pretty cool. I've done some streams for UFC. I enjoy it, but I don't know how he could do it. Like that's his thing. That's his Rogan thing, is like, I'm going to sit in front of my computer and be entertaining for 3 hours today.
I thought it was funny that because I bet Kyle could actually do it, that they said they could get Trump on a stream with him because they're trying to get the younger vote, and he has such a reach that like they actually would put him on there.
Honestly, Trump, I want to put past Trump and his team to do something like that. They brought, what was it, Lil Pump up on stage?
He was in with Lil Pump. Like, yeah, he was hanging out with
Lil
rappers.
Pimp, he called him though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He interviewed with Barstool. Like, yeah, his team has an idea of what's going on, because it's like, hey, you got to get younger here. We'll dive into our fair share of politics here soon, but yeah. So Aiden on Nelk, Portnoy on Rogan. If you have some time, check it out. Interesting. This was tough. Logan Paul, apparently. So I saw that Ethan Klein dude like called out Logan Paul for basically like abandoning. So he bought one of those teacup pigs, and then apparently like they just get super big, and like this dude's just an influencer, and he apparently just like abandoned it. Like he gave it. I think he tried to give it away, and then he gave it away to the wrong person without doing due diligence. Basically, this pig is found next to a dead pig, abandoned in the field. And it just, I'm an animal lover, so it just tears at your heartstrings. But then the shit that was coming out where it's like, he's apparently got a really bad record of pets. Like someone's like, yeah, his dog got eaten by a coyote. He's abandoned other animals. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's just sickening to me,
Yeah.
And no, go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say there's just been a couple things about him recently, like the shit with his co-host where he just eviscerated him for being a Christian.
Christianity.
And then I saw some report that like claims he's like addicted to blow and Molly, and like that could be wrong, but they showed him like in the airport, like laying down like that. I don't know, that could be just clickbait. But
he also got screwed with that crypto zoo or whatever. Like someone was like, wait, what even is this? Someone did like an investigative report, and then after the report, he finally posts in the crypto zoo Discord. It's like big 2023 plans. Like,
that reminds me, a good podcast episode that recently came out though is his podcast with Wiz Khalifa.
Logan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw some clips.
It's fire. That. Yeah, I listened to it. It's good.
Bren, you were
What's
saying?
this podcast called?
Impulsive.
That's right. I've never listened to that before.
Yeah, I think I've just seen clips. Maybe I've checked it out here or there.
The Wiz one's just interesting because we like grew up with Wiz, so like listening about his life is pretty interesting.
Did you have a thought there, Brendan, on Logan Paul?
I was gonna say the Christianity thing with his fucking co-host.
That was bizarre.
And not to mention when he went into that suicide forest or whatever and filmed.
He can't step. He can't stop stepping in it. Maybe it is just, he's just not a great guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul to the PFL, I think, is fire. So he's fighting MMA, and he's basically putting his name and his brand in the second most successful league that no one really, that could maybe threaten the UFC, because you've got a guy immediately people are going to watch. He's going to fight Nick Diaz or something. He's just going to fight all these big names in the lesser hierarchy of combat fighting sports. But I think it's interesting to see how that maybe shakes up UFC. How about Dana White smacking his wife? What the fuck?
Oh,
yeah, what the?
Jesus.
What's up with that?
Yeah, did anything ever come of that? I mean, I know it was in the spotlight for like a few days. People were talking about it, but
He's head honcho.
Charges.
It's like Vince McMahon. He's just, he just walks right
Well,
by it. And apparently his wife came out and was like, hey, this, like, I escalated it. You never know with that scenario. But
well, I read that it got completely overshadowed by the was it the DeMar Hamlin thing, or was it something else that completely just like
I was the DeMar Hamlin thing.
Yeah.
probably.
But I saw a clip of Dana today at a press conference, and he's like, what should my punishment be? What do you want me to do? Take 30 days off? Like, what's that going to do?
I mean, he's such a D-bag because he's like, yeah, my whole thing is never hit women. And then I did it. It's like, yeah, you fucking loon.
The thing is, if you're doing that in public, like, what are you doing behind closed doors at your house?
Exactly. It was a bad video. Like, they're arguing on like a balcony in Mexico or something. He just smacks her.
Yeah.
Bad look for Dana boy.
I mean, I guess, sorry, just on that, has the wife said anything? I haven't seen any.
I thought she said like, hey, it's it escalated. It's an isolated incident, but you never really know if you read between the lines. Like, is that just?
Well, yeah, that's the.
I mean, look what happened to the Texas men's basketball coach. Like, he got suspended. It was like, okay, his wife says she regrets calling, and then he's getting a felony, so they fired his ass. Crazy. Well, a couple of felonies might be racking up here. Andrew Tate is Andrew Tate versus Greta Thunberg or whatever started this, right? So, who is Greta Thunberg? Our resident Ian Corbett? Like, she is basically like a millennial environmentalist, right? But doesn't she have some sort of mental disability? Am I totally wrong on that? Is she autistic? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people think she is.
I actually that does seem to ring a bell because
maybe I fell into a trap of like people just trying to make fun of her, but I thought
maybe when Elon said something, she said something.
I think she's a time traveler though, like that ass. There's those pictures of like celebrities that look like people from the past, and she has an exact replica from back in the day.
So she flames Andrew Tate. I mean, just thoughts.
Asperger's.
It was such Asperger's. Okay, so yep. So I wasn't wrong. So she just such a lame, email me at smalldickenergy@gmail, and then everyone on Twitter, who's above the age of 45 thought it was the funniest joke ever.
Good for her though. Like,
yeah,
I really appreciate
there's
that.
There's no way she wrote that. She has a team for sure.
I thought they were both lame.
12 years old, yeah, you got a social media team.
Both lame indeed, because I thought
they were both lame, but Andrew Tate was more lame because he's coming after a fucking 19-year-old girl.
And he got so triggered. He has to make this video response where he's getting pizza, and his dumbass literally gets caught because the pizza is a chain in, I wonder if this pizza's fire, a chain in Romania, which Romania realized, oh, he's in the country. Let's go fucking bust his ass. So he gets busted. Sex trafficking, all this shit. And it's like, okay, he said all this shit was going to happen, and it's like, okay, maybe it's because he's a criminal and he knew he was going to eventually get caught, or, is there any validity whatsoever to him thinking he's part of the Matrix and they're coming to get him?
He's so fucking ridiculous. Like,
am I wrong? I heard that they originally said it was sex trafficking, but then it turned into it was actually money laundering is what he got arrested for.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It wasn't.
That sounds right.
I think they dropped the whole sex trafficking. They investigated him for human trafficking, which to me, I don't know where I draw the, like, to me, it's the same, but anyways,
because he basically, he has like a compound where girls are, just on camera, and apparently like they want to be there, but it's also, I think there's this scenario where these girls are desperate for money, so they do it, and they're there, and
they get paid a salary to like give their. I mean, it's a brothel a little bit, in my opinion, but like, I don't know the laws in Romania, and like, fuck it, if that dude's rich enough to do whatever he wants, there's probably worse people in the world, Jeffrey Epstein. But like, I don't know. But I have seen enough videos of him contradicting his own like takes that I've just kind of stopped paying attention.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that's where people are at with that. But it was a shock where it's like he literally gets stormed and arrested,
Yeah.
I think he's full of shit. I think half of it's an act, all the shit he says for sure. And like dude's arrested and he's throwing up the fucking triangle. I'm like, dude,
Illuminati.
Yeah, like.
And then also I wonder if if he was in the Illuminati and that shit's all real, then they're gonna make him look like the boy who cried wolf, and he's just gonna get erased because no one's gonna care about him anymore.
They denied his bail. He's for the rest of January.
So he's in jail, but Tristan, his brother, got released, or
he went to the hospital too. Andrew Tate.
Bizarre.
I don't know the whole story there, and I don't really want to like. That's what this whole thing's bizarre. And like I said, I don't really pay too much attention to him. But I saw an article that he I guess got transferred, but when he was getting transferred, somehow had to get issued to the hospital, and of course, that's all we heard. So I don't know if it was like he got attacked or who knows.
We'll keep an eye on the headlines. Idaho murderer finally caught. How about this creep? I mean, just the crazy true crime. The police stopped him after the murder, and it was just out of state. People had no idea. That video has come out. This guy was he was a criminology major. And he was like a TA, he was a grad assistant or whatever. So people on TikTok are like, "Oh my God, this motherfucker was sending me emails." And people are just like, "Is this dude a psychopath?" But this guy's
have they found a direct motive for it yet? I know obviously with his education, he was kind of studying how to be a good serial killer, but was there a motive?
But then remember, it was a crime of passion, and it's where's that link?
I've dove fairly deep on Reddit and whatnot, and I think a report did come out. I think he was stalking one of the girls because they pinged his phone location at the house 12 times previous. So
dude, it's like Dexter. He was literally grooming his first kill almost.
Yeah, and he was addicted to heroin in high school. I watched this mini documentary.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and apparently he's super awkward and I don't know. It's and then dude, the body cam footage of him driving with his dad across the country.
Yeah.
And he's tweaking sack. He got pulled over twice within 10 minutes.
Did you hear the rap that he released 11 years ago that they somehow found? It's so bad. He made a rap song 11 years ago. It's so terrible.
I saw the video where it's the FBI raided his dad's house or whatever, and it's the dad cleaning up, and they're like, "Oh my God, I feel for this guy. He has no idea what the hell's going on." Yeah, probably something happened in this kid's childhood that I don't think this guy was just the way he is himself outside of just perfect parenting,
dude. But it could be you haven't watched Brennan's watched Dahmer, right?
Yeah,
how Jeffrey Dahmer's dad was literally, I mean, he fucked him up, but he was not a bad dude, and literally had no idea that until they what was going on.
I mean, that's a worst nightmare shit, you know, where it's maybe you're not as plugged into your son's or daughter's life.
I mean,
as
you shouldn't let your kids play with dead animals at 8.
Yeah, that might be a red flag. It's do I have to kill this kid before something happens?
Also, addiction to heroin, I would need to research how that might long-term affect someone too. You know what I mean?
Totally. I think that's a compounding thing where it's just tough life, into drugs, messes up the mind.
Yeah.
Already a messed up mind, bad concoction. I can't believe that. I mean, I guess it's all done now, but how about the cartel just flat out waging war on the entire state of Mexico? Because what was it? El Chapo's son got arrested.
Yeah.
Didn't they release him because of it? Or is he still in jail?
No, I think, dude, I'm pretty sure they probably flew him out right away of the country and put him somewhere. And I bet he's in the hands of a few countries there, and they're sitting there as soon as those cartel popped off. I bet they're all just sitting there well, fuck, do we have to?
What do we do? Do we just release
them? That we haven't seen, dude, some of the videos. I don't know what to take from the internet, but if any of those videos I saw, some of them were fucking nuts.
Well, I go back to Narcos. It's they kind of did the same thing too. It's they think, I mean, they could take on the police. They have that many warriors that are brainwashed to, kill for the cartel for their greater good or whatever, and they could just say, "Nah, we run this state."
You want to talk about terrorism? That is literally what's happening in the Middle East, but it just showed its true kind of colors.
But it's no one, the cartel is almost different from terrorism because they supply us with drugs, right? People are we're good. Let's let them do their thing.
I was listening to some dude who's gone undercover with the cartel on an older Rogan episode. He's talking about how it's like unwritten rule, like obviously that they don't mess with Americans because a lot of them are like investors in a lot of these resorts. A lot of the cartels are. And
wow. Yeah.
Under different like entities, but it's like it's in their best interest to leave Americans alone, like when they're there.
Yeah. Right. Interesting. Yeah, so that was crazy. I guess, we'll wait and see. I think Mexico got things handled, but yeah, that would imagine if that was happening in US, like just people are driving on the highway, there's just car bombs, What is going on in the House of Commons? The House is an absolute mess with the Republicans. You see that it took like 15 votes to get this dude, Kevin McCarthy, finally there. He made concessions. Trump stealing documents. Oh my God, it's there. Wait a second. What? Biden has 2 different stops of stolen documents himself. This dude's a clown. Who isn't corrupt? What? Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, and his latest initiative is banning gas stoves.
Yeah,
great.
The GSU, the gas stove unit.
So I mean,
wait. I also heard that they're voting to ban income taxes.
Abolish the IRS. They said they're needed.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, they entered a bill, but that's just going to be another time waster, I feel like.
Yeah.
In fact,
I just couldn't believe, like, could you imagine? That place reminds me of like, it was almost like, it's like high school. It's a bunch of
middle school, dude. It's fucking
people
childish.
Just in corners, just like, hey, we're not here until we'll vote. We're not letting you because I love that our guy George Santos, who lied on his resume, he's trying. Everyone's just like excluding him, and he's the kid trying to like kind of listen into the group conversations, and Matt Gaetz keeps like pushing him aside. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like the one dude had to be like held back when they were. Did you see that video? Yeah.
I could never get into politics, but wait, actually, maybe I can, because the stock market has its worst year since 2008. Yet, buddy, a listener sent me, it was like someone did it. It was like stock returns for members of Congress. Some guys absolutely raked this year, just like randomly up 50% while the S&P is down. And then Nancy Pelosi was in the red. She was like minus 15. I'm like, Pelosi, tough year. My buddy goes, yeah, she has to go in the red sometimes. Otherwise she'd be totally arrested. But yeah, so I mean, that's the game, I guess. It's just politicians don't make their salary money, but they get the inside info to where, hey, family members make these trades.
That's an interesting question, because like that's the big debate. Would you be willing to give them like a way fatter salary
to try and stop that?
Yeah.
But then is that more taxes from us?
Fuck if I know. I don't
Dude,
know.
They abolished the IRS, so that'd be fucking dope.
Or like, what would that mean? Would that just send things into chaos, or would we?
Well, I don't get it, because does the IRS? They don't only monitor income taxes, even though they're I don't.
They do sales tax across like
property tax.
They do everything.
So,
but it would be a huge. I've been trying to think about that too. I've been trying to think like it would end up immediately affecting like, okay, where does that money go? Well, that money's going in the millions and billions to things like the war efforts or like the Build Back Better plan and stuff like that. And so that's where all those cents go, and it adds up, and they always like, so there's no way that passes. But then I was like, what if they did limit it to just, hey, no more income tax across the country?
Make concessions. That'd be cool, because there are some states that don't do it. God, that's the one thing I miss of South Dakota.
And then some states can leave it up to the states, and some states can just be like, all right, cool. Well, we're just going to move our 8% to 10% and call it even now.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. Interesting.
Certainly. All right. Sunday Ticket, NFL Sunday Ticket's going to YouTube. That's fire. So I could finally, I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and do YouTube TV. I'm sure a lot of people already do already.
Short direct TV if it's public.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, DirecTV's toast. I mean, like Dish or I feel for that. I felt bad for like the Red Zone guys. It's like, are they Andrew Siciliano? So they have 2 guys. They have the DirecTV Sunday Ticket channel, which is Andrew Siciliano, who I think is better than Scott Hansen, but everyone loves Scott Hansen because he's the Red Zone guy, which is just the $5 per month. But Siciliano's done, and I imagine they just keep Hansen. Kind of made no sense having 2 Red Zone channels, like, so it's just like a no brainer. Okay, so I'm rewatching Friday Night Lights, and then I kind of got sick of it again. But it's a great show. Like I was just rewatching it for the football scenes. I was like, this is great.
Yes.
DeMar Hamlin. Yikes. I mean, everyone, millions of people are all just like, holy shit. In the first episode of Friday Night Lights, it's like you're watching the Friday Night Lights and like I love football. It is such a violent sport. I mean, you just have to understand it. The first episode of Friday Night Lights, the star quarterback gets paralyzed. And it's like, how, does that happen across the US more than people think? Immediately everyone thinks the worst with Hamlin. Luckily it was a cardiac issue, but it was a cardiac issue that was directly from football.
Yeah.
And everyone started bringing up the Chris Pronger when that happened to him with the St. Louis Blues, where he literally took a puck right in that spot and collapsed and had the same thing. I don't think I will ever let my kid play football. Like I don't. That could happen in practice. That could happen if you're the quarterback. If you're somehow good enough to make it to the NFL, and then all of a sudden a 350-pound guy's coming for your head, and you're 180. It's just Tua should not play football again. I don't think, but he will.
The concussion thing. I don't know. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I was basically ending it. I mean, Hamlin thoughts. Everyone was kind of like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was kind of the only thing to say about it. Was holy shit. I felt it was crazy though that it was that game of all games that happened, because that's like potential game of the year. I mean, obviously it's all Hamlin first, but like,
yeah.
How about that fucking Packers player? I don't know who it was, but who pushed the medical person who came on the field after all that happened? Who was that?
Right. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was. I mean, just an idiot. And then he was like pouting. He's like, I didn't do nothing. He literally just shoved like a woman. I think maybe he was a man, but
I think it was a man. But it was still a fucking person. It was a medical doctor running on there to make sure someone was okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably someone not in pads.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Skip Bayless freaking stepping in it, just tweeting what nobody should. And then him and Shannon look like they're ready for a breakup soon.
Yeah.
What
Shannon
else?
Didn't even show up the next day.
Yeah, and then he comes the next day and tries to do his monologue, and Skip just goes, "Wait a second, wait!" He just interrupts him. He's like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Skip was getting cooked on Twitter.
Oh, he was destroyed. It got like 70 million views or something, and everyone's just like, "You horrible human being." Skip's old.
Yeah, that is definitely the like horrible human being moment.
Right, but I mean, look at Goodell. Goodell suggested, "Hey, 5 minutes for you guys to warm up and go play again." It's like, bro, what? Everyone knew that game wasn't getting played after that. That was crazy.
And then they tried to make a statement about how like, oh, that was never a true like suggestion from the head. And it's like, oh, sure it wasn't. Like,
yeah, right.
The only thing I don't know.
Just a mess, but we're all going to dive into playoff football this weekend and love every second of it. All right, college. How about the college football playoff? Jesus Christ.
Who turned it off?
Oh, I worked. Thank God.
I fell asleep.
I went to the gym because it was going to be on there, and I was like, well, I knew they were going to route them. So
crazy.
Dude, we got into the second quarter, and Darian and I are like eating dinner, and she's just like, "Oh, this is getting bad." And I was like, "Yeah, it might get worse." Like,
I mean, college football is just. I theorized, does more teams make it better? We're just going to get more TCUs, more Notre Dames, more Michigans. Like, it's
that's
bad.
A good point. And it's going to be weird, but are we going to get a TCU versus a Notre Dame now?
Well, that's the thing. Like the two playoff games before were great. The national title stunk. Girl goes viral on ESPN for just being on screen for 3 seconds. She's going on Good Morning America. Those ESPN camera people know exactly what they're doing. Kind of creepy, to be honest.
Dude, that's crazy. That's a come up. Put me on camera or something. Like,
yeah. She's loving it. She's like an Xavier lacrosse player. And then there was the Tulane girl who that Jack Mac dude put on, and like she blew up. And then she made a TikTok, and then everyone started shitting on her.
Everyone roasted her. Like, yeah.
Whoa, way better from the side. Yeah, I felt bad for her actually. JJ McCarthy's dad trying to cop a feel on his girlfriend. Just a finger touch, right? That was that was bizarre.
I saw that.
That's a bad look. Like the next family dinner, it's like, so Dad, what happened in the stands there? Let's see. And then so we're girls are going viral off college football broadcasts, yet Hooters has to rebrand because apparently millennials don't like boobs. Something seems
what are they
off there.
rebranding as?
Ass. I don't know.
What? Oh, like how deep is that rebranding? I feel like it's iconic.
That was an actual article.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is legit in the works.
It is.
Keep the name, hopefully, but damn.
Yeah. Last thing on DeMar Hamlin was, I mean, this guy literally got revived by CPR. We all kind of took that class in health class. I don't feel comfortable. Like, I understand maybe you have to jump in. I don't feel comfortable. Like, are we all up to date on CPR? I feel like that's something I might have to look into again.
I did get certified once when I worked at volunteered at the hospital, but I don't.
Do you think? Do it. You think you could do it?
No,
I think I would freeze under pressure.
I think I'd do more harm than good.
Bingo. I'd be worried because you could get lawsuited, off that if you do that wrong.
Dude, yeah. So yeah, and I remember I helped. Dude, yeah, I've been in a situation after a car accident where someone's like, "Yo, can you help me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna touch you."
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, she ended up being fine and all, but it was just like her arm was broken, and like I wasn't gonna grab onto her broken arm, and like,
yeah,
I was just like, the cops will be here soon.
That's probably a heady play. Hey, yeah, stop. Can you be quiet? The cops will be here soon. I'm making a call.
I'm on the phone. Shut up.
Meanwhile, these two guys are like, "Oh, cops are coming," and they just go, "I can't be here. I don't have a license." And I'm like, "What?"
That is the worst. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Okay, let's see. Almost wrapping up here, and then we'll get the tea with Jack D and get us out of here. Good to be back in the new year. So we've got our company meeting. I think we'll just I want to just have it on air. Like, we'll just do it next wing it. I think that would be cool if, like, we'll just talk. The listener will kind of be like if they're in the meeting. So
Cool.
We'll see if maybe that is cool or not for 10 minutes. We'll save that for next week since we're running kind of long. Jeremy Renner, snowplow accident. Jeez. He looks to be all right, but that was kind of scary.
I saw that very briefly. I mean, what happened? He's fine.
Side of the road trying to help someone else. Snowplow didn't see him out. I think that's the story.
And how about Blaine Gabbert, the NFL court Mizzou, shout out, who like literally saved his kids from drowning, and then he got in critical condition from that.
Yeah, seriously.
A lot of stuff drowned out the Dana White slap. That dude lucked out, so to speak. A lot of Southwest customers did not luck out. They fumbled the bag over the holidays. A lot of airlines did, but then like a couple days passed and the airlines resumed, and then Southwest just did it, and people were just shitting on them. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
apparently their systems are outdated and fucked. But if you had a flight on one of those days, you got 25,000 points and your flight refunded. So, and
then today, like all planes got grounded for an hour. That was crazy. Like
that was weird.
They didn't say what it was, but you imagine hackers like.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It was a cyber attack.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, Andrew Tate was just logging in. Real or fake Christmas tree for you guys? Any strong takes?
I've always had fake.
Bro, it's fake or it's not. You got to go fake. I mean, you just take it apart. I remember growing up with a real tree. It's a mess. Like what do we even do? What, we want to be the Griswolds and go chop down a tree. It's time consuming. Sometimes you touch the leaves and you get like an allergic reaction. Has that ever happened to you? Like, that shit's fucking.
Dude, are you white lights or colored lights?
I think we have both. Kelsey, has our place looking right.
Right.
I was always Christmas colored lights as a kid, but now I think I just prefer white lights. It just looks cleaner.
Yeah, it does. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
Mine is to read 8 books. I only read 3 last year.
Okay.
Proud of you.
What books do you read? Like,
I just got David Goggins' Stoops. Let me borrow. Hurt me. So,
like, is there any genre you stick to, or are you kind of just reading anything?
I typically like to read like self-help books, but I will read like some like fiction.
Jack?
Yeah, I got a list of some shit. Reading's on there for sure. Work, excel at that. I'm trying to think what else. Oh,
Alex,
I mean,
you got any?
yeah,
Well,
go to the gym every day, and then all the basics.
Yeah. Gym's definitely up there with me. I took like the past 2 months off. That's a big one. Otherwise I've got some work goals, not necessarily like any sort of habitual things. But reading, I got into reading last year, had a hard run at it, and then basically this work killed me this off season. So
I like audiobooks. That's an easier way to kind of get through reading too. But is that cheating? You're still learning.
Brennan will like this one. Mine is take the extra step and go one more, because I struggle with things like, I put my dish in the sink and not the dishwasher, stuff like that, like little things like that.
So not even an extra step, just removing the step of putting it in the sink and instead putting it in the dishwasher. But that is a good goal.
And then, but it can also translate to other stuff, like just to like be more like aware and like planned, like,
sure.
We've had people come visit Brendan and we don't have anything set up. Like, like my goal is like to go one more and make sure we
detail oriented, maybe.
Yeah.
Something interesting.
Yeah.
That's mine. And if I ever come visit, I'll Venmo you up front for you to help get shit set up.
There we go. Do it.
I kind of slipped from the gym too. So mine is at least 5-10 minutes of treadmill every day, where it's like I have it in my basement. I just got to get down there and do it. And I've stuck to it so far, which has been great. And then just wearing my retainers. I've been paying for Invisalign for so long, and it's just like I just gotta finally, they do help if you stick to a regimen. So I just gotta actually stick to it. Workaholics movie canceled 5 weeks before filming. That's tough.
I saw that.
Yeah.
These streaming companies are just
right.
Yeah, they're just cold cut now. They're like, hey, if we don't, it's crazy.
I think someone else will pick it up. They said they have the script they can use. So
probably like Tubi or one of these.
Yeah.
I do love Workaholics though. Glass Onion thoughts. Everyone see it?
No, I've only watched the first half and then I fell asleep.
I liked it.
I liked the first one better, but I thought
Glass Onion
was still good. Still good.
Yeah.
But you see, are you about to say something else?
Me? No. I just
their islands for sale. The Glass
Onion
really? Islands for sale for 450 million. Like,
wow. Okay.
Whole
entirety of the island.
Yeah, because it's like got that actual thing on it.
It's like a private island, with the glass onion.
They showed like a several photos on the thing I saw, and it just kind of showed like, you get the house, you get the little boat dock thing or whatever's down by the water, the other compound stuff. So,
all right, last thing for me, I have a mushroom update. So it was like, I love it. It's good time if you're not doing anything, you're just hanging out. I took some before the airport once, and it was like, all of a sudden there's a huge line, and I look at Kelsey, I'm like, are we going to miss our flight? And then I was like, we were figuring it out, and we ended up being fine. But I was standing at the kiosk while Kelsey's in line, and all of a sudden I'm just like, I am fucking not prepared for this. I was not ready for it to be jam packed, but it was fine. It was fun. So then, I was saying, it's like, did you hallucinate? And I was like, kind of, I felt it. So I took 1.5 grams was kind of like my go-to. That's a good time. The other day I took 2 grams. So an extra piece. Holy shit. I was like, Kelsey was home. I was like, hey, I think I'm going to take 4. She's like, what? Okay. And then so usually it takes an hour to kick in. As soon as I sit down 5 minutes after taking this, I'm going, did I just make a huge fucking mistake? I'm looking at my phone. I can't read my phone. It's jumping out at me like this shit is happening. I don't know if we could see it. I've got a whiteboard up here on the left where I kind of write down sports betting information. I was writing with a marker and it was turning into blood and dripping off the entire, I was in a different dimension. I kid you not. It was crazy. I don't know if I'll ever do that much again. 3's money. 4 was holy shit. You could see different, everything's fuzzy and soft. It's weird.
You were sacked.
I was like, oh my God. And then it finally wore off. My brain was just zapped. I was just like, holy crap. I gotta just
Was this like at night or just like in the middle of the day or what?
Yeah, like a 4 o'clock on a Saturday, I think. This past Saturday. I was God.
What time? What time? What did you say? What'd you say? It like wore off.
Oh yeah, like 4 or 5 hours. Like that's what's crazy. Like
You're like slamming Bud
I was
Light.
cleaning, like, oh my God, I was vacuuming and like it was insane. I was just petting my dogs relentlessly. So now I can officially say I've hallucinated and I don't get it. You know, like it was crazy.
I don't think you're supposed to get it, man.
Yeah. 1 week, 1 month until Valentine's Day. If your girl's not wearing my custom hard jewelry, I'm going to interrogate you. How about that? You know, got to do it. 30% off. Promo code Dylan, DYLAN, fire stuff. And Valentine's Day is obviously a huge holiday. So make sure you utilize and save a little bit of money through our friends at My Custom Art. Let's get caught up on the tea with Drac D and get us out of here.
All right. We went over quite a bit of some of the shit I had. So we got the flights were grounded. The IRS, that part abolishing. Damar Hamlin, he got released from the hospital today. We talked about him, but he's actually like at home, which is
and like a miraculous recovery for a car. Like you could be brain damaged significantly, and he's talking, which is a great sign. Of course, people are like, he could play football again. It's like, dear God, it's like, do you want to? It's like, yeah.
I didn't want to say too much earlier because it scares the shit out of me, but definitely think the concussion suffered in like football, high school football, was enough for me. And thinking about how many like a pro would take, nonetheless, like shit like that.
Dude, it is scary to think about.
Yeah.
All right, we might need to consult Ian Corbett on this one, but according to the United Nations report, the Earth's ozone layer is on track to heal over the next 40 years. So the hole's supposed to heal, so I don't know.
Because apparently China's been doing a lot to like reduce stuff. Meanwhile, California's just getting destroyed by rain. Like still we're having crazy weather, but hey, at least we're taking a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it won't fix it. The damage is done to some extent.
Right. Yeah, that's our kids' problem.
This is pretty crazy. The first ever AI lawyer is going to appeal a speeding ticket in court. Like, actually, they're going to let him do it.
I have a robot just being like, "Sir, that is cap."
No, I don't like this. Because now it's taken the whole fucking
because then broadcasting jobs are going to be done. You're going to have robots broadcasting
everyone's shit, which reminds me of ChatGPT, which is fucking insane. I literally typed write me a New York Times article on digital marketing strategies, just like random, fucking cranked one out. At work, I write cold emails.
Okay, yeah.
I took an email that I had written out and I put it in there and I said, reword and shorten this.
Yeah.
Reword, like, and it's like all tailored of like shit about my work. Like, reworded it and shortened it, sent it to my boss. I go, what do you think of this email I wrote? She goes, that's fucking awesome.
Oh no.
So it's like working, like it's working in real life.
No, it's working. And then apparently they're already demoing ChatGPT, the next generation. It can write a 60,000 word book.
Well, I'm literally going to use this for sales all summer.
Oh, dude, it's like it's a game changer. I'm trying to think of something I can do to like maybe pump out short stories or some shit like that with it. Yeah. So AI is crazy. My sister was also showing me this thing called Dolly that you can literally be like, she's like, literally say anything. I was like, Kobe Bryant riding a horse through Las Vegas, and it makes all these fucking crazy AI images of it.
Yeah, I've seen that's that's so crazy.
That's insane. So like maybe we start selling NFTs or something like that.
Yeah, my dad used to write short stories. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. That's just gonna be funny.
I just want to like make an Instagram account that goes viral and just like make different AI. I got some ideas. That's also my goal, is let's get a side hustle going in 2023.
Love it.
SBF pleaded not guilty, and then I also saw today they found $5 billion hiding somewhere of his.
I saw he's still trading crypto, like in like someone's like, wait a second, this is literally someone like decoded. It was like, this is SBF moving crypto around.
Yeah, I know,
because he's under house arrest.
Yeah, he's weird. The college murders. Yeah, the dude is arrested. And you guys watch iCarly, or is that my generation?
I watched it.
Yeah.
It's someone made a TikTok, and they do look a lot alike. That the Idaho murderer looks just like Freddie Benson's mom, like literally identical to her. So that was pretty funny. And then Andrew Tate's arrested, and then I got some good. I got a good amount of suggestions here. So Glass Onion for sure. I watched White Lotus season 2.
Really what'd you guys think?
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot better than season 1 too.
Bingo. Yep,
yeah,
that's what
I love the Sopranos dude in it.
He's great.
Last night, I did not know as much about it. The Bernie Madoff documentary is crazy.
I started watching it. It's great.
He fleeced people for like 45 years.
Yeah.
Dude, it is the last episode. I'm like, what? And
What's
I didn't know
on?
it's on Netflix. And I didn't know any of the shit about his family, like his son. Like, yeah, I won't ruin it. But then I watched another documentary on Netflix called Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Good one.
That's insane. It's about a dude who the Pepsi ad said if he collected all these Pepsi points, then he'd get a fighter jet, which is worth like $35 million. And they didn't put a disclaimer at the bottom saying that this is a joke. So he went and got an investor. They did the math and like bought out all this Pepsi and like sued Pepsi. And his lawyer was the lawyer, like Trump's lawyer. And this was like way back in the 80s. It's nuts.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'd say the first 2 episodes are definitely worth it. The last 2 they draw it out.
Is that on Netflix too?
Yeah, the ending's kind of a letdown, but it's kind of a crazy story. And then just a good movie I watched recently that I had not seen was The Imitation Game.
Oh, great, with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
that's like a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then I saw it today in a month from now. The F1 documentary, the PGA documentary on Netflix,
and tennis, both coming out this month from the same creators. It's crazy. Yeah, it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
January is going to be good. The Last of Us, I think, is coming out maybe this weekend.
I think
that got really good reviews.
Or is it not out?
Like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I can't wait. That is going to be epic.
A video game?
It's a video game.
It's based off the video game.
That's what
Great
I thought.
video game. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I hope it does well, just because like video game movies are not.
Dude, look at the cast, Alex, when you get a chance, and they're gonna kill it.
And the next one I want to see is I don't know, it got decent reviews, but I love detectives and I love olden time, and Christian Bale is The Pale Blue Eye on Netflix. His new movie that it's like based in like he's like a detective solving a crime at West Point in the 1800s, and his like assistant is Edgar Allan Poe. It's a weird concept, but looks kind of good. And then in a month, I'm super pumped for, these are more my type of shows. Brennan watches these as well, but You season 4 and Outer Banks season 3. Coming out in a month.
I tried to give Wednesday a go, Jack. I couldn't get into it. I was not going to do it.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But
I'm almost at the point where I see TV 14 now, and I'm like,
you're out.
I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, maybe I'll give it a shot. But last thing for me, because we talked about kind of these points, I think McDonald's did this thing where it's like you basically get points, and one of the things was free McDonald's for life, which I was like, I would eat that. I kid you not. I've been to McDonald's probably 4 million times in my life. Like, it is astronomical. I love McDonald's. I would utilize the fuck out of that. But would people want that free McDonald's for life? I
don't know, but I think you could go back in time and hear us talk about it, but the Monopoly Millions was another documentary I think we suggested, which was just another point system thing. It's kind of crazy.
Are they still doing that, or did they cancel it?
I don't know.
They haven't done it in a while.
Weird.
It's gonna be like the McRib. It'll come back around.
Yeah, it'll be back.
Good to be back. We'll be back next week here on Winging It. New year. I'm heading to Miami. Hopefully I survive the Gucci concert, and then we'll talk next week.